Living for ourselves sounds simple enough. After all, how can it be to take an honest look at our attitudes and behavior, or to learn about new and healthy ways of coping and finally practice them? It can be very tough if you are codependent. You may ask yourself, what is codependency? Why does it happen? What can we do to cope with it? Codependency is a learned path of feeling and behavior. To change from being codependent into fully functioning humans means to accept ourselves, to feel, to trust, to talk, to grow exactly the things we were taught not to do as we were kids. Traits of codependency include low self-esteem, denial of emotions, communication problems, emotional problems, living through others, emotional intimacy, addictions, and compulsive behaviors. And examples of codependency could be relying too much on your parents as you are growing up, not just as kids, but as full functioning adults. For example, I'm pretty independent for my age. I'm 16, I work 2 jobs, I still manage to come to school, and I still manage to have my own personal bills paid on time, as well as house bills. Codependency happening could be a trait of growing up in a household where codependency was already a way of life. Meaning, if you are growing up in a toxic environment where you guys all rely on each other, or if one person relies on each other more than the other, that could be a sort of trait of codependency. Not being taught independence at early ages shows you that relying on others while growing up is important. Meaning, if you are a little kid and you are relying too much on your mom, like for example, my brother, he is 5 years old right now, and he still can't fully talk. He goes to school and he still can't fully talk, which I find that a trait of codependency, because if my mom is not present, he won't say a single word, and that causes him troubles while being in school. Connecting with your inner side and finding your true self is important because it helps you understand your own feelings and boundaries. Facing and acknowledging your traumas will have a huge impact on how you cope with things while trying to avoid codependency. Setting boundaries is important because it will decrease the need to take on what others are doing. Taking charge of your life means to let go of your past to allow new growth. Letting go of those emotions will lead to 5 stages of grief, which include denial, anger, sadness, apathy, and acceptance. Once you have gone through these stages, you are on your way to being a successful boundary setter. In conclusion, codependency is something one grows around and eventually adapts. To become independent after being codependent may be a struggle at first, but it's never impossible. Thank you for being my audience.